Welcome to Mo's World, the baseball podcast. Yep, another baseball podcast. Here we talk about baseball like a few friends sitting at the bar. Awesome. We're excited to bring you our latest episode. If you enjoy the podcast, spread the word to your friends. Okay, let's get started with the recent signing of Kyle Tucker. What do you think? Are you kidding me? What the fuck is going on with baseball? Kyle Tucker's contract with the Dodgers is 4 years, $240 million. Average annual value, $57.1 million, record-setting. Signing bonus, $64 million, with $54 million paid up front. Deferred money, $30 million. Opt-out clauses after the second and third year. The Dodgers will incur a significant luxury tax due to the highest threshold setting. It's going to be about $119 million just to sign Tucker. And as far as the Dodgers will lose their third and sixth highest draft picks due to Tucker rejecting the qualifying offer from the Cubs. And also the previous losses from signing closer Edwin Díaz. So yes, this is an insane contract, especially because I'd like to know how in the world is Kyle Tucker worth $57.1 million per year. Seriously. I mean, how did this number magically get presented? Kyle Tucker's agent is Casey Close, who is associated with Excel Sports Management. And I think he did a great job cloning Scott Boras. I'm going to put it out here again. I keep saying this. Kyle Tucker is not worth what he is being paid. And hello, who does he compare to? Once again, Kyle Tucker has always been in comparison to Austin Riley of the Atlanta Braves. And if you look at their career stats, you know, they both came up as 21, 22-year-olds. They entered the league about the same. They've had very similar spurts at different times in their career. For instance, Kyle Tucker has led the league in 2 offensive categories in his career. Wow. Same as Austin Riley. Kyle Tucker has had 3 outstanding years in a row from 21, 22, and 23. Austin Riley has had 3 outstanding years in a row from 21, 22, and 23. Now, Kyle Tucker in those 3 years was voted in MVP 20th position, 15th position, and 5th position in voting. Austin Riley was 7th, 6th, and 7th in MVP voting in those years. Kyle Tucker is a 4-time All-Star. Austin Riley is a 2-time All-Star. Austin Riley is signed through 2032. He signed a 10-year contract for $212 million, when there's also team options at the end of that. So he'll be making $21.2 million per year. Now, as we said, Kyle Tucker has signed a 4-year contract for $240 million. That's $57 million per year. That is where the comparison stopped because he's unbelievably overvalued. And I bet he doesn't even play 120 games as well. The idea of opt-outs, if that's how you get to win a player now, well, that's the dumbest ass idea I ever saw. If I'm given an opt-out, then I want to renegotiate a bad year if a Rendon year exists. That's the new term in my book. You want to opt out? Well, then I get to renegotiate if you pull a Rendon on me. The player would say, no way, screw you. Well, it should work both ways in that regard. GMs are becoming such pussies with this. Well, how about this? Have you heard the name Diamond Baseball Holdings? Does it sound familiar? Well, it should. Diamond Baseball Holdings is considered a powerful and influential owner in minor league baseball. They have acquired a significant amount of teams, and they're aiming to improve player conditions and the facilities. Their approach has raised concerns about local ownership and the traditional minor league experience. It seems way too early to tell if this will be a positive or a negative result in minor league baseball, but I thought I have to update you on it. So they were established in 2021, and Diamond Baseball Holdings operates 48 teams currently across the United States and Canada. The company is backed by the private equity firm Silver Lake, which was initially founded by Endeavor. Now they own teams in every tier of minor league baseball, from Single A, the Augusta Green Jackets, the Salem Ridgeyaks, the Rome Emperors, Double A, the Arkansas Travelers, the Tulsa Drillers, the Wichita Wind Surge, Triple A teams such as the Gwinnett Stripers, the Charlotte Knights, the Iowa Cubs, the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, and a lot more. And not just in one region, but across the United States. And teams from the Yankees to the Pirates all sold. Such as, there's 4 teams in New York owned by this. There's 4 in Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee. We could go on naming states and provinces. So, what is the positive impact on minor league baseball? I don't know. We'll see. But Diamond Baseball Holdings aims to enhance the professional standards of minor league baseball. They want to improve facilities and player conditions. By owning multiple teams, Diamond Baseball Holdings can share best practices and resources and potentially lead to better management and operations. The company has received substantial tax preferences, which can hopefully sustain and grow teams financially. But what's the concern? The local flavor. Now, there are concerns that DBH's ownership might diminish the local character of teams as they focus on more of a corporate approach. With Diamond Baseball Holding owning over 35% of the minor league teams, there are concerns about a monopolistic practice and the impact on competition. Now, while Diamond Baseball Holdings brings potential benefits like the improved standards and the financial backing to minor league baseball, there are valid concerns regarding the loss of identity and market control. The long-term effects of their ownership, well, it's going to depend on multiple factors. Currently, I wonder about towns and teams losing local identity. All of Diamond Baseball Holdings teams seem to do the same events, the same promotions. Where's the local flavor? I see it missing already. And this was the identity of baseball. Now, as of the podcast, Diamond Baseball Holdings, like I said, they own 48 teams. And in the collective bargaining agreement between Major League Baseball and Minor League Baseball, there is a rule that states 56 out of 120 teams can be purchased by Diamond Baseball Holdings. That's 14 teams in each minor league tier. Wow, that's amazing, right? For this reason alone, you can understand why Baseball America has called Diamond Baseball Holding the most powerful ownership group in the history of minor league baseball. Now, it's been reported that Diamond Baseball ownership group, they have a close relationship with the commissioner of baseball, Rob Manfred. And they've received more than $275 million in tax preferences for minor league teams that they own. So, why would a major league team even want to sell its interest of their minor league team? For years, the major league teams have always controlled their minor league affiliates. But now, wow, the opportunity that Diamond Baseball Holdings has is unbelievable. So why would they sell? Well, there's a very varied amount of reasons, and it could be cost efficiency. Managing a minor league team is definitely a significant operational cost. Then we've got staffing, stadium maintenance, marketing. Selling ownership allows Major League Baseball teams to avoid all these expenses. Financial risk. Minor league teams can have fluctuating revenues based on attendance, local economic conditions. So by selling Major League Baseball, the teams reduce their financial exposure. Then you've got operational focus. Major League Baseball teams can concentrate on player development and on-field performance without the distraction of running a minor league franchise. How about flexibility? Selling ownership allows Major League Baseball teams to adjust, more easily without the complication of ownership, enabling them to respond to changes in player development strategies or market conditions. And then, you've definitely got the community investment. Now, partnering with an organization like Diamond Baseball Holdings supposedly can strengthen community ties and improve the overall fan experience. Really? That last one, where's the proof in that statement? I have an issue with that one. Is that really the answer? So let's just say the Yankees, valued at $6.3 billion, are having thoughts on reducing their financial risk. So lo and behold, they come up with the idea of selling their minor league teams to Diamond Baseball Holdings, who acquired High A Hudson Valley Renegades and also the AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders as part of its expansion into minor league baseball in 2021. Now, from the most profitable team in baseball, I think there's more to it than financial. What about the recent sale that the Astros just pulled off to Diamond Baseball Holding? The Astros recently announced that they had agreed to sell 3 of their minor league affiliates, AAA Sugarland, AA Corpus Christi, and Single A Fayetteville, to the Diamond Baseball Holdings Group. Now, why would they do that? Yeah, I don't know if you recognize any of these teams or you're familiar with them, but they're one of, all 3 of those teams are doing excellent. They do a really good job. Now, Diamond Baseball Holdings doesn't seem interested in altering the Astros affiliates' baseball operations or relocating them from their current venues. So why exactly do they want to add the Astros affiliates to their portfolio? Well, how about consider the recent purchase less about baseball and more about venue? Seems to be that's the big ticket. Constellation Field is more than just a ballpark for the residents of Sugarland and the surrounding area. Instead, it's a major cultural hub, one that the Space Cowboys GM, Tyler Stam, said hosts approximately 225 events per year. Now, Constellation Field hosts an annual Holiday Lights event from mid-November to January. It has hosted double-digit concerts this year. Even the Savannah Bananas will take the field in Sugarland next August. The Bananas will also play in Corpus Christi in late May. So baseball is only part of what Constellation Field offers. Though it may be a secondary concern for those running the Astros, the new approach comes with the sale to Diamond Baseball Holdings, where they state that they plan to transform all of its parks and related facilities into true entertainment values. They're aiming to attract customers on a year-round basis. Given this goal, buying the Space Cowboys in this particular instance seems like a smart move. So now we can see the whole scenario a little better. Now don't forget, Diamond Baseball Holdings it is a privately held equity firm. They do not invest from the goodness of their hearts. They want to make money. Another example are the Atlanta Braves, who recently used to own all of their minor league teams. Now, the Braves maintain their involvement in player development and baseball operations, but the business aspects such as ticket sales, sponsorships, are now managed by the new ownership, Diamond Baseball Holdings. This shift marks the end of a long-standing practice where the Braves also own the majority of their minor league affiliates. As we pointed out with the Yankees and Astros and the Braves, this trend is increasingly getting more common among Major League Baseball teams. So I can't help but wonder if there will be more of an impact in this direction in the next minor league CBA contract. Seems like a major impact to the community of minor league baseball. Community. There's that word again. Now, community-owned teams, that's a thing of the past. Write it up and put it in the books. There's no way that's happening anymore. Is it bad? Is it good? Honestly, I don't see enough changes or movement to have an opinion on this. I do feel it's dangerous, and I'll put it at that. The pros and cons can only be stabbed at currently. The end game of Diamond Baseball Holding is what the intriguing question is. Minor league baseball is definitely changing, but with all the changes, we have to wonder, is it for the betterment of the community? As always, that's yet to be determined. Now, Major League Baseball seems to be distancing themselves from the communities that host the minor league affiliates. It's like they don't have time for them anymore. Let someone else manage the team or move them when they demand a new stadium or improved facilities are required. This fits right in line with the change in community in this day and age. Sorry to say, it's an evolution of the changing society as the neighborhood of the past has changed. It's just a fact. Sorry if this hits home, but the current selling trend of minor league teams sits right in line with the changing development of community. Sounds harsh? Well, it might at first, but for instance, would you currently take your 9-month-old baby and put him in his playpen in the yard and go inside and fold the laundry? Holy shit, of course not, right? But years ago, this was common to do in your neighborhood. And I'm only talking 30, 40 years ago as well. But times change on all levels. So we're experiencing the start of the new year, which perhaps has us reflect on how, why, because. So I didn't mean to get deep here, but it is kind of funny how even the reality of sports can reflect the change in our society. Whatever happened to using sports as an escape, right? The main thing is when an ownership group consisting of private equity firm, which is what Silver Lake Diamond Baseball Holdings is, while managing over $110 billion in capital, why? Why the interest in minor league baseball all of a sudden? That's still the question to be answered. Typically, when private equity moves in, an average of 4.4% will lose their jobs. Will the uptick in capital improve the teams? Still to be seen. Is the management thinking revenue, fans, or something else? Once again, we always talk about the fans, so let's see how the fans are going to be impacted by the addition of this ownership group. Well, I guess today's episode has been another in those things that just make you say, another thing to ponder. Thanks for joining us for Season 3, Episode 2 of Mo's World, the Baseball Podcast. Each episode lasts approximately 20 minutes, and we appreciate your support and encourage you to share the podcast with your friends. Our next episode will be released in 2 weeks on Friday, February 6th. We want to thank everyone for listening, and while you wait for our next episode, ask yourself, whose world is it? It's Mo's world. Awesome!